Good morning. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Stephanie Cajolet, and I am the Sports Development, Wellness, and Culture Manager at the City of Grande Prairie. We are honored today to welcome dignitaries and supporters to the Eastlink Centre for a very exciting announcement. And on that note, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Alberta's Minister of Culture, Ron Orr, who has joined us today to make the announcement.
Thank you very much, Stephanie. I'm glad you could all be here for this exciting day. Mayor Clayton, Chairman Husey, honored guests, others, I think there's a few councillors as well, and MP Chris Warkentine. I just want to thank you all for coming, for being part of this today. Another great moment, a looming great event for the City of Grande Prairie. As Minister of Culture, I've had the distinct pleasure of meeting Albertans from across the province, and often with those meetings, I get to share news that benefits their communities. And in that regard, it's been a priority of mine to make sure that sport becomes more accessible for Alberta's young athletes, for our young people. Accessibility and affordability, the two key words for sport, has never been more important since COVID, which is why I announced recently the Return to Play program, $4 million program that provides families of lower income support to help offset registration costs for organized sports opportunities. Our government knows how important sport and physical activity is to maintaining and achieving strong mental and physical well-being. The Child and Youth Wellbeing Report confirmed the importance of that to us, and so it's something that we're acting on in very concrete ways. I've been lucky enough to actually meet some of Alberta's most promising young athletes. Normally every 2 years, pre-COVID at least, we're back to it now I hope, we award summer and winter games to communities interested in hosting our athletes, which allows the young people to continue to learn and develop and enjoy multi-sport games. Experiences like that create friendships, strengthen team skills, and give the youth themselves a real opportunity to strive for something and to grow personally and to develop their own personal character and strengths. Last year, I was pleased to announce that Okotoks will host the 2023 Alberta Summer Games. And I mentioned that by the time the games happen, it will have actually been 5 years since we have had a Summer Games in our province, primarily due to COVID. In fact, those games 5 years ago were held right here in Grande Prairie in 2018. And then going back a little bit farther, 2010, the Arctic Winter Games were held here in Grande Prairie. So too the 2000 Summer Games, the Canada Games in 1995, and going back even farther, the 1980 Alberta Winter Games. So there's a pretty clear pattern here for the City of Grande Prairie. A great track record of local leadership and real success for your community. Earlier this year, on a compressed timeline, I have to congratulate you. Chairman Mike Husey and his entire team for the Winter Games Bid Committee sought the approval of their City Council for the 2024 Winter Games. Mayor Clayton and her council granted that approval, and I understand with a tremendous amount of community support in the Grande Prairie region to pursue that bid as well. So it's a great example to the rest of the province as well of a strong, vibrant community in Alberta coming together to achieve something great. And it demonstrates the passion for sport and healthy competition that you have here. So I am here today to tell you that your hard work and your enthusiasm and your dedication have truly paid off. It is my pleasure to announce that Grande Prairie will be the host of another Games, the 2024 Alberta Winter Games. Congratulations, yes. It's a Games where youth ages 11 to 17 will be able to participate in up to 19 different sport events. And so your passion for welcoming young athletes, coaches, technical officials, and in many cases their families, and all of their supporters into your community through hosting the games is something that has not gone unnoticed. The provincial government will be contributing $420,000 directly to the Games Committee, and then covering another $600,000 of basically provincial expense, provincial jurisdiction responsibilities to also help make sure that this happens. You've demonstrated your commitment to sport and physical activity by building impressive sport and rec venues staffed by dedicated volunteers. And you know, when I look through the bid package, the list of facilities that you people have built here in Grande Prairie is incredible. I don't know there's another community that has done as good a job as you guys have. So congratulations to you on that. Alberta's young athletes will never forget their time here. Your outstanding facilities, your supportive communities, a dedicated host committee, and I would say a strong number of potential volunteers who are also going to be ready to bring it all together. So Grande Prairie and regional residents will be the lucky spectators of the talent, the athleticism, the excitement that will be on display in February of 2024. Actually, just a little over a year and a half from now. That's a compressed timeline, a lot of work to put together a major event. So congratulations for taking that on. I know you'll do a great job. There's an estimated 2,800 athletes, coaches, and technical officials alone that will become part of your city's incredible history of hosting successful games. These athletes will truly gain valuable experience competing against their peers, striving to demonstrate the very best that youth sports has to offer in Alberta, and setting an example to all of us about the value of sport and recreation for our physical and mental well-being. So I say to the sport organizations across the province, start training. It's coming. And congratulations to the City of Grande Prairie. Thank you, and may you hold the best games ever. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Orr. Next, I'd like to introduce the City's Mayor, Jackie Clayton, to say a few remarks.
Well, hello and thank you. Big thanks to Minister Orr. We are so excited to host the Games. As you know, joined by my fellow colleagues, Grande Prairie is truly known as a Games city. We do and have a history to show in exceptional games. The Canada Winter Games, as mentioned, we've had this Alberta Summer Games twice, and the Arctic Winter Games in 2010, the Special Olympic Games, Winter Games, and many more provincial and national events. We're truly thrilled to have the legacy live on as we add the 2024 Alberta Winter Games to this impressive list, demonstrating our passion and our commitment and support for sport and athleticism. Hosting the 2024 Alberta Winter Games is aligned with the city's existing goals of supporting sport and athletic development through the Pursuit of Excellence grant funding, the Grande Prairie Regional Recreation Committee, and the Joint Recreation Master Plan. Becoming the host city was truly made possible through dedication of countless committee partners and community partners sharing their support and bringing this vision to life. I want to send out a huge thank you. As I mentioned, it was a compressed bid to the committee members as well as the regional and government partners, the province of Alberta for this honor, the local First Nations and Métis community who are a big part of this, instrumental part of this Games, our local sport organizations, and of all of our supporters throughout the community. This opportunity is going to have a strong impact in our community and our region, from amplifying sport development and showcasing our wonderful hospitality sector. As mentioned, this Games will support our local economy as the visitors will experience our many industry-leading hotels, restaurants, shopping centers, and cultural amenities. We look forward to welcoming the athletes, coaches, and supporters from all over Alberta to our incredible facilities. We truly are honored and privileged to have such amazing facilities, and we look forward to people enjoying our vibrant community as they come to our region. Council can think of no greater legacy than which will live on through youth attending the Games. Development of athletes, officials, and volunteers will inspire the next generation to follow the footsteps of those before them and become the new community leaders. We are excited to host the Games and continue to build Grande Prairie as a Games city. So thank you to everyone who made this possible, to Minister Orr and the province of Alberta for your choice, and we look forward to a continued commitment of 2024 Alberta Winter Games being a huge success. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Mayor Clayton. And last but not least, it is my pleasure to introduce Games Host Society Chair, Mr. Mike Hussey, to say a few words.
Thank you all for being here today. Thank you in particular to Minister Orr and the province of Alberta for the exciting announcement and for giving us this opportunity. We can't wait to get started. I came into this process of the bid late, and so I want to express my appreciation for the efforts of Katie Bieberdorf and the team at the city and all of the volunteers that came together to put such an amazing package together so quickly. And I should mention that most, if not all of them, were involved in the games in 2018 when we had the summer games. So the fact that they did that and were prepared to come back again just shows the community spirit and how lucky we are to have volunteers like them and the support of the city as well. So thank you to all of them for putting the package together and getting to us to where we are today with the announcement from Minister Orr. Additionally, I'd like to thank all of the sport and community organizations who contributed letters of support, and most importantly, Mayor Clayton and City Council's support for us getting to where we are and the fact that we get to put on the games in 2024. We're excited to make Grande Prairie a premier sport tourist destination for many recreation, sporting, and cultural events as we have in the past. And as great as the economic and tourism impact will be for our community, the real benefit, I believe, is going to come from the promotion of a healthy lifestyle, physical, social, and emotional benefits that come from the lessons of hard work, teamwork, and fair play, and the creation of relationships and friendships that the youth from across the province are going to recognize as they come together to participate in the games. Having been there myself as a coach and watched my children do this, I know that this is the Olympics for them, and the lessons they learn, the memories they create are priceless and worth as much or more than any economic benefit. And we're so fortunate to be able to have that. These are the traits that make us all proud Peace Country and Grande Prairie members, but also Albertans and Canadians. So we're so lucky to have this to build, as Jackie said, the leaders of the future. We look forward to making this possible, and we encourage everyone in Grande Prairie to participate, whether it's as a spectator, supporter, or volunteer, and we will be recruiting up to 2,000 volunteers to participate. There'll be a way for you to be a part of this. And for the youth, especially in Grande Prairie, we've got a unique opportunity to be a participant as Zone 8 athletes. So kids, find out what sports are participating and find a way to get involved. It's an experience you'll never forget. Thank you again to everyone who contributed to the success of the bid and to the province of Alberta for selecting us to host the games. And we can't wait to welcome everyone to Grande Prairie in 2024. It's going to be an event we all never forget. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mike. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today, to Minister Orr, Mayor Clayton, and Mike Hussey for your remarks. Lastly, on behalf of the City of Grande Prairie, we would like to thank all of the volunteers, organizations, and businesses for making it possible for Grande Prairie to become the 2024 Alberta Winter Games host city and carry on our community's legacy as a Games city. We look forward to welcoming athletes and their families from across the province to our region and are excited for the Games to begin. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now take questions from reporters. Available for questions at the podium are Minister Orr, Mayor Clayton, and Bid Chair Hussey. It's a one question and one follow-up, so if you have a question, just come to the mic. Please state your name and your outlet and who you're directing your question to.
Hi, my name is Erica Fisher, representing Today FM and My Grande Prairie Now. My question is for Minister Orr. I'm wondering what it is about Grande Prairie that brings the province back again and helps us earn this reputation of being a games city. What's in the bid that really solidifies this Grande Prairie as being the place you want to hold these games?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Partly it's the spirit of the North. I just think there's an incredible spirit of Alberta can do that happens here that is just unbelievable. But also, it's the facilities they have make it entirely, totally possible for them to do this with excellence. So I think that's an important piece of it as well. So I would say those are the two primary things. And we're thrilled to have them as hosts for this games because I think they're going to do an incredible job. So.
Just as a follow-up, What kind of support can we expect to see from the province when it comes to planning these games, executing them, especially having been, a little bit of time since we've been able to put on games like this here in Grande Prairie? What kind of support can we expect?
Yeah, for sure. So I actually have department staff with me here today. My chief of staff is here as well. And the department will be available to help with any questions, anything that's needed. They also have quite a bit of experience doing games all over the province. And so any issues that come up, I know they'll be more than willing to jump in and partner with that. Not to mention the fact that we've made the financial contribution, which of course is critical as well. Yeah, I think that's pretty clear. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Hi, Jesse Boyley with Town and Country News. Just curious, is there any buildings or in the Grande Prairie area that will need upgrades to host these games?
I should probably let the mayor respond to that one more directly, or maybe the host chair. But to my knowledge, as I've already said, an incredible list of venues here in Grande Prairie. I mean, the one we're in here is fantastic. To my knowledge, probably not. Again, just a credit to the city of Grande Prairie for having such great facilities already ready to go, which I think is important considering the compressed timeline we're dealing with. There wouldn't be a lot of opportunity for major construction. So that's probably one of the reasons too why we settled here.
No, for sure. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. If there are no other questions, we can conclude. Thank you very much.